Hello everyone. Today we will study the topic of Chiari malformation. It is of various type. Chiari type 1, 2, 3, 1.5 and 0. First let us discuss Chiari type 1 in detail. The basic pathology lies in small, shallow posterior fossa. This leads to caudal tonsillar ectopia, that is, caudal displacement of tonsils more than equal to 5 mm below the line joining basion to the opistheon. Also the tonsils, they become pointed peg-like with angled tonsillar foliae. Normally the tonsillar folia are more of horizontal. The cerebellar folia, they also become vertically oriented. Normally the cerebellar folia are more of radially oriented. All this leads to crowded foramen magnum with effaced CSF spaces. This can further lead to diminished or absent CSF flow at posterior foramen magnum, and all this disturbance in CSF flow dynamics can lead to the formation of syrinx. In this image, we can see that due to the small posterior fossa, there is vertically oriented cerebellar folia, there is caudal displacement of tonsils which are more of pointed peg-like with angled foliae, and this T2 hyper-intense signal in the cord is the formation of syrinx. Basically, there are two terms. One is hydromelia and the another is syringomelia. Hydromelia is dilatation of central canal, whereas syringomelia, it is cavitation in the central cord. But most of the times they are indistinguishable on MRI images. So we use a common term, that is syringohydromelia. In this image, we can see the crowded foramen magnum. This image we have discussed already, and this is phase contrast CSF flow study. And we can see that there is no flow in the posterior part. This is due to tonsillar crowding and adhesions which prevent the normal CSF circulation. Now we will study Chiari type 2 malformation. Myelomeningocele is almost always associated with Chiari type 2 malformation. Basically, myelomeningocele and hydrocephalus, they dominate the clinical picture at birth. Now we will study the other findings in Chiari type 2 by comparing it with the normal image. Here we can see that the basic pathology, it lies in small and shallow posterior fossa. So, if posterior fossa is small and shallow, some of the contents, they descend downwards and some of the contents, they descend upwards. So in this image, as compared to the normal one, we can see in Chiari type 2, there is caudal displacement of cerebellar vermis along with choroid plexus, and also medulla has been displaced downwards and there is formation of a medullary spur due to this. There is cranially migrated cerebellar folia, and these cerebellar folia, they compress on the tectum. This leads to beaked tectum. The normal fourth ventricle is a diamond-shaped cavity with the dorsally pointed fastigium. In this, the fourth ventricle has also migrated caudally, giving it a soda straw appearance. This can lead to disturbance in CSF flow, and a dilated third ventricle is a common finding. Also, there is prominent massa intermedia. Massa intermedia connects the both thalmi. Now let's study the theory. There is a small shallow bony posterior fossa as we have seen. This leads to the inferior displacement of vermis medulla. Medullary spur formation we have already seen, and choroid plexus. All these protrude downward through the gaping foramen magnum and lie behind the spinal cord. And we have seen that how the cerebellum has herniated superiorly. It compresses and deforms the quadrigeminal plate, giving rise to beaked tectum. There is caudal displacement of fourth ventricle and it lacks fastigium. This leads to soda straw appearance of the fourth ventricle. The third ventricle is often enlarged and there are very prominent massa intermedia. The another finding that we seen that the falx is mostly fenestrating. This leads to interdigitating gyri. Also, through the tentorial incisura, the cerebellum can be seen herniating upwards. This is known as towering cerebellum. Some cortical malformations can also be seen, such as polymicrogyria, contracted narrow gyri, that is stenogyria. Here in this image it can be seen contracted narrow gyri. Then heterotropic grey matter. Callosal dysgenesis is found in nearly 2/3 of all the cases. In spine and spinal cord, we have studied that myelomeningocele is almost always present, and hydrosyringomyelia can be seen in 50% of the cases. Now let's take a look at these MRI images. In this image, we here can appreciate that there is callosal dysgenesis. This is stenogyria. This one is showing beaked tectum, straw-like fourth ventricle, caudal displacement of cerebellar vermis along with brainstem. This again shows beaked tectum. These are basically interdigitating gyri. This also shows interdigitating gyri. The same is represented here. This image shows towering cerebellum. The difference between Chiari type 1 and 2 malformation is basically in Chiari type 1 it is the tonsils and not the vermis that is herniated inferiorly. In antenatal scans of Chiari type 2, we will see that there is banana cerebellum. Basically, the cerebellum gets compressed against calvaria due to the spinal meningomyelocele, the CSF, it leaks. And there is a lemon-shaped skull. This is known as lemon sign and banana sign. This is myelomeningocele, the large vertebral defect with overlying septated cyst seen on ultrasound. The pointed configurations of occipital horns is also a common finding which can be detected antenatally. Now we will study Chiari type 3 malformation. The additional finding that we see in Chiari type 3 malformation is high cervical or occipital encephalocele. Basically, the small posterior fossa and caudally displaced brainstem are the similar features. In addition, we see these findings. The sac, it may contain meninges, dysplastic brain, deformed ventricles or blood vessels, that is venous sinuses or arteries. Then Chiari type 0. In this, there is rounded contour of cerebellum, but we do not see any cerebellar ectopia. Here, the line from basion to opistheon, when we draw, we see that there is no tissue which is herniated more than 5 mm below this line. So, there is no cerebellar ectopia. But syrinx formation is often noted. This is Chiari type 0. Then in Chiari type 1.5, the major pathology is retroflex odontoid. And tonsillar and brainstem herniation is seen, which leads to crowded foramen magnum. So this was a short video on Chiari malformations. Thank you.